An update. Medical doctor denied bail on attempted murder and firearm charge. And now that you've gotten an update, let's move on to another serious subject this morning of discuss that's making the rounds this morning. A decision by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit early discussion with the U.S. as it relates to the acceptance of refugees. Are they refugees or are they deported? That's the big question this morning. Prime Minister Mr. Roosevelt Skerrit made the disclosure yesterday. And some people seem very upset. A lot of people seem very upset about that decision by the Prime Minister. I suspect, from what I gather, the Prime Minister of Antigua made similar arrangement.
Have entered into an agreement to facilitate third country refugees to be sent to Dominica to mitigate scenarios where the United States cannot return these individuals to their state of birth or origin. In our discussions with the State Department, there have been careful deliberations of the need to avoid receiving violent individuals or individuals who will compromise the security of Dominica. This has been acknowledged and well received by the State Department. Given the importance of bilateral relations between the United States and the Commonwealth of Dominica, I, as Prime Minister and Head of Government, believe it is important to find key points of agreement and compromise between our countries. This engagement is based on our responsibility to safeguard the well-being of our people, particularly the access to lawful travel, education, employment, and family connections, while strengthening cooperation between our two governments. I believe this will further deepen our long-standing relationship and signal clearly that Dominica remains a willing and reliable partner of the United States in our region. Let us, as we start this new year, we must choose steady reflection, not heightened emotion. This is a time for clear thinking, not division. Our country has faced challenges before, and we have always met them with resilience, dignity, and a deep sense of responsibility to one another. Let us begin this new year by lowering the temperature of our national discourse, choosing calm over conflict, and remembering that we are strongest when we stand together. This new year must also renew our shared commitment to nation building, above and beyond political or personal differences. Political views may differ, but our love for country must remain greater than any division.
You want to hear this again? I'm much obliged.
The United States and the Commonwealth of Dominica have entered into an agreement to facilitate third country refugees to be sent to Dominica to mitigate scenarios where the United States cannot return these individuals to their state of birth or origin. In our discussions with the State Department, there have been careful deliberations of the need to avoid receiving violent individuals or individuals will compromise the security of Dominica. This has been acknowledged and well received by the State Department. Given the importance of bilateral relations between the United States and the Commonwealth of Dominica, I, as Prime Minister and Head of Government, believe it is important to find key points of agreement and compromise between our countries. This engagement is based on our responsibility to safeguard the well-being of our people, particularly the access to lawful travel, education, employment, and family connections, while strengthening cooperation between our two governments. I believe this will further deepen our long-standing relationship and signal clearly that Dominica remains a willing and reliable partner of the United States in our region. Let us, as we start this new year, we must choose steady reflection, not heightened emotion. This is a time for clear thinking, not division. Our country has faced challenges before, and we have always met them with resilience, dignity, and a deep sense of responsibility to one another. Let us begin this new year by lowering the temperature of our national discourse, choosing calm over conflict, and remembering that we are strongest when we stand together. This new year must also renew our shared commitment to nation building, above and beyond political or personal differences. Political views may differ, but our love for country must remain greater than any division.
I can tell you that's been making the rounds, and I even saw an article from a report from the ABC News. It's making the rounds, and of course, swift reaction as we speak. Somebody reacts this morning, madness. Who's going to support these people? Where are they going to live? Who are helping them transition to a new country and culture? The Prime Minister is definitely not thinking. What if these people have criminal records? Trump claims that these deportees are criminals and rapists. If this is true, why should we take them? This makes absolutely no sense at this time. In a quick reaction, I saw the leader of the United Progressive Party, Mr. Joshua Francis, issuing a release very quickly. Was that just a knee-jerk reaction, Mr. Joshua Francis?
Hi,
What's your
good
take?
morning, Matt,
Morning to you, sir.
and good morning to your listeners. Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to your listeners. Happy New Year to Dominica. Let us hope that 2026 will be a better year for us individually,
Mm-hmm.
for families, and for the country and the region. The year has started in a rather good way. We are alive. We're in the land of the living. But from a national point of view, we continue to be harbored with a political cancer in Dominica. And the behavior of the leader of our government continues to want to take us for a ride, always trying to stir emotions, to blind us, and to lead us. But thankfully, the good Lord keeps opening our eyes. More and more Dominicans are coming to see the light and coming to draw the conclusion that it is time for a change of government. At yesterday's press conference, I did not have the privilege to hear everything as I was in court. But once I got wind of certain materials which were divulged in the public, once again, myself and the executive of the United Progressive Party expressed grave concerns about the utterances of the Prime Minister, several of them, but this morning, you're on the issue of the third-party refugees whereby the government of Dominica has stated it has entered into a unilateral agreement with the United States of America to facilitate third-party refugees. Matt,
Mm-hmm.
now I heard you spoke about whether those are deportees or refugees. There is a fundamental difference. It could be a play of words. A deportee is one who is forcibly removed from his country for several reasons. So if a citizen or someone who has a green card, as in the case of the United States, were to find himself into problems, he can be removed by a court order. And a refugee, one usually is one who flees from his country out of fear for political persecution or reprisals or some oppression. So in the case where the Prime Minister spoke about third-party refugees, it is taken to mean that those are persons who sought refuge in the United States of America, may have received successful refuge, and the Trump administration has decided to remove them from the United States, and places like Dominica, as the Prime Minister stated, is prepared to facilitate and welcome those persons. But Matt, there are several concerns about that. First of all, one would have thought, as the Prime Minister said, we are starting the year and we should start with reflection. The Prime Minister should have led by example. And if the Prime Minister had done proper reflection and to keep up to what he says, that a government of transparency, this matter would have been taken to Parliament for debate. This matter would have been dealt with consultation with the people of Dominica. This matter would have been brought to the fore a long time ago to get Dominicans' views on the matter. What we have seen is a betrayal of our democratic principles in Dominica. This is a government that takes decisions which requires consultation with the people of Dominica, and where the government fails to do that, it then informs the public. And that's what happened yesterday. The Prime Minister simply came to inform Dominicans that he, as the man in charge, has made that decision, disregarding the fact that such a decision could have serious social and economic implications for the people of Dominica. So as a party, we raised several concerns such as national security. How many individuals will this government take? Where are they from? What are their backgrounds? Do we have any policy in respect to who we will take and who will not take? Is there a screening process in place? Will there be a background check on every refugee or deportee? What are their backgrounds? Have we armed our police and our social institutions with the necessary resources to accept and house these people? And then in respect to housing, where are they going to be accommodated, Matt? Do we have enough housing? Yes, the government has embarked on social housing. Where are these people going to be housed? What impact are they going to have on our economy, the employment and economic impact? Can the country absorb these people? As I said, their numbers are important. Is it just a few dozens of people, a few hundreds of people? Where are they going to be absorbed in our economic space? Will they push out or crowd out locals? Will they bring any meaningful contribution to the economic landscape of Dominica? What financial arrangements, Matt, have been made? Are we getting compensation for that arrangement? Is it that the government of Dominica decided to enter such an arrangement to appease the United States of America in an effort for the U.S. to lift visa restrictions on Dominica? Is that what it's about? Is this really humanitarian? Is this a diplomatic move by the government of Dominica to correct its wrongs? What about cultural integration? Are these people able to live, or are we able to live in harmony and coexist with these people, not knowing who they are, where they're coming from, what are their numbers? Will this cause social instability? Now, so there are several questions one can ask. And clearly, this agreement has the potential to further destabilize our nation. economically, and socially. So I would like that Dominicans pay attention to these developments and several other developments which will have ramifications for the people should this argument be executed. We ought not to continue to allow this government to make decisions for and on our behalf without our involvement. This is undemocratic, especially at a time where we're seeing global shifts, at a time where we are living in an age of uncertainty. Our government has to be more responsible and more accountable. And therefore, it would have been appropriate for the government to provide detailed information and financial compensation and support mechanisms, if any. The people of Dominica deserve better. We don't deserve a government that continues to work in secrecy and when it is convenient to inform us as to its actions. We should have had parliamentary debate, as stated, scrutiny of this argument. We don't know what are the terms, what are the references. We have absolutely no information except to be informed that the government of Dominica has entered into such an arrangement. Matt, this morning I want to tell the people of Dominica that we deserve transparency, not secrecy. We deserve consultation, not dictates, not a government that continues to operate as a dictatorship. We deserve a government that prioritizes our needs, our security. We speak of national security. We speak of how we're going to reduce crimes, what methods, what strategies, what sources are we going to utilize to reduce crimes. At a time when the nation is embattled with what appears to be growing crime, gun-related violence, whilst we're trying to correct our own domestic issues, we are seeing bent on complicating things, bringing in individuals we do not know. So that's contradictory. And at what benefit is this to the country? What benefit is this to an ordinary citizen in Dominica? So what we have seen, Matt, is a government that continues to make decisions without proper analysis, proper consultation, proper thinking, proper vision. A government that continues to depart from democratic principles and to disrespect the people of Dominica. We see a government that is prepared and continues to sell Dominica. We sell passports. We facilitate the sale of our lands. Look, now we're prepared to just give away a small country, 70,000 people, 29 miles long, 15 miles wide, a small space, and now prepared to facilitate the intake of refugees. To what end? And how far will this government go? Who are the people benefiting from all of this? Matt, we are not convinced this is humanitarian. We in the United Progressive Party will continue to monitor, but we are asking the people of Dominica, for the sake of their children, if they care less about the immediate impact of those decisions, to think of how Dominica will be in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years from today. I believe it is time that we put proper consideration for our children. What kind of future will our children inherit? Matt, when you look down the road, should we allow this government to rule Dominica? Our children will lose Dominica.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Joshua Francis. Thank you. I have another reaction there from Mr. Cabral Douglas. Cabral, let's hear you.
Matters of mutual interest, and an agreement has been reached on one of the primary areas of collaboration. The United States and the Commonwealth of Dominica has entered into an agreement to facilitate third country refugees to be sent to Dominica to mitigate scenarios where the United States cannot return these individuals to the state of birth or origin.
Now let's just stop it right there. So the Prime Minister of Dominica has just announced to the world that he's entered into an agreement of mutual interest between Dominica and the United States. And that agreement is for the United States to be able to send refugee deportees who cannot be resettled in their country of origin to Dominica. Now, first of all, How is that an issue of mutual interest? These individuals are not Dominicans. These individuals are not Caribbean people. So it's not like it's CARICOM individuals in Haiti, for example. These individuals don't have relatives or ties to Dominica. They're refugees in America that could be from any country in the world. They could be from Afghanistan, for all we know. And these individuals, we've entered into an agreement to send them to Dominica. Is Dominica a trash heap where you just send people that you don't have anywhere else to send? And the prime minister of the country enters into an agreement which is in violation of the immigration laws of the country. He hasn't approached the parliament of the country to introduce legislation to make it legal for this to happen. He has simply bypassed all checks and balances to put Dominicans at a disadvantage. But should we be surprised? No, this is a government that has sold tens of thousands of passports to individuals around the world with no ties to Dominica. If it wasn't for the United States, they wouldn't even have introduced a requirement for them to reside in Dominica to receive their passports. They've sold the country out to Chinese interests. They've been so reckless in their due diligence and their execution of their policies that Britain has put visa restrictions on Dominica. The EU has contemplated visa restrictions on Dominica. The United States has suspended visa application for Dominica, making the life of the ordinary Dominica more difficult and more challenging to navigate. And now the Prime Minister is announcing, in light of all of these failures, that he's opening the floodgates to refugees without any parliamentary oversight, without any plan to facilitate their integration into the community, without any plan to facilitate their housing, their public services, the education of their children, the language barriers. We don't know who these people are. We've effectively lost control of our border and therefore control of our sovereignty. The only solution is for Dominicans to wake up and remove this madman from the helm of Dominican governments. This is Cabral Douglas. Thank you very much, and bye for now.
All right, 4493-09596 and 97. Allowing refugees deportees to come to Dominica is only to benefit Skerrit and Skerrit only, as it might ease the travel restrictions and allow the ease of travel for his supporters when he called elections. That's what somebody's saying here. A lot of telephone calls. People are very, very, very upset. And Carval is also the international representative of the UPP as well. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, 853. Are you there?
Well, I have bad news for Dominica. If it is scary to do that, I have connection with Martinique, and Martinique has poisonous snakes. I'm going to bring poisonous snakes to Dominica through the back door. So tell him to do that. Okay, I close my case.
You close your case now. That's not something you want to encourage, though, huh? 854, hello, talk to me, because it'll also be affecting Dominicans as well. Hello, talk to me, yes?
I say praises, thanks, blessings, and glory to all those who sacrifice their personal safety and security trying to elevate mankind to humanity. Mr. Pelty, blessings to your family, sir.
Blessings to you, sir. Blessings.
Matt, thanks to Joshua, thanks to Cabral, and thanks to a very sensible and discretionate Dominican, Matt. Matt, a refugee. These are not refugees. They were seeking refuge in America. They are undesirables. They don't want them there. So now they're deportees from America to other countries. That's what the CIA and all of them call, or the new destructive old world order, organized chaos. Why not send them to the countries of origins? The same agreement, Matt, they're having it with African countries. Why not make agreements with European countries to take those so-called refugees? Matt, let's say, boom, Trump administration is not there. Whatever agreement all you had with the Trump administration, maybe to give all you some crumbs financially, Matt. And boom, America is no longer obligated to give those little peanuts change to all you to sustain and maintain these so-called refugees. They're deportees, Matt. A lot of them are hardcore criminals, plenty of them come from places that is infested with crimes, Matt, because that's what poverty breeds. Matt, where are the guarantees? Are you there with me, sir?
I'm right here.
Where are the guarantees? Let's say, boom, Trump is no longer there. So I am just saying, Matt, we need a referendum, and Dominicans need to put their foot down on that one. Police, labor rights, but Matt Taylor, Matt, the brains of the country have divorced the skull. Matt, there's no critical thinking on anything. It's all about being irrational and impulsive and being fanatical. My neighbor, work hard without thinking. So I am just saying, my brother, Skerrit said something in the press conference, Matt, that may have missed. Did he say you're leading the charge with the thing about his son, Matt?
Yeah.
Like I hear him say, you that leading or
No, not me. I think Dominicans, yes. In terms of the criticism, I think Dominicans is saying that not fair to his son. That's what he said.
Okay, I thought he accused you of leading the charge.
No. He didn't accuse me. No.
I may have missed it. I did not hear well. Matt Skerrit said, there are a number of things I have discussed with other countries, and I did not discuss with my cabinet for security reasons.
He did say that. Yes, he did say that. Yes.
Matt, when I hear that, I get goosebumps, Matt. So, like Maduro, is he going to get foreign bodyguards, Matt? You see how much 30-something soldiers from Cuba were killed, or bodyguards, Matt?
32 intelligent officers.
32. So, Skerrit, are you going... So much you're paranoid. Are you not going to trust your bodyguards now and get foreign bodyguards? Matt Skerrit will sacrifice his own family, much less for Dominica, for him to be free. So that's what Gaston Brown is talking about. They're so skilled. So Antigua and Gaston Brown and Skerrit agree, but for to remain free, we have to cut a deal. Did the U.S. impose that on them, or did they accept the request because it's like a global request, Matt? Wherever America can dispose, and I use that word consciously and deliberately, foreigners they do not want in their countries, any country that needs them, Matt, they can cut a deal with them, and some stupid African countries, they agree to take these people. Matt, you know how dangerous this is? I'm going to conclude, Matt. These people can be used as real mercenaries, secretly be funded and trained in your country, and then overthrow your government. If America desire to dispose of your government like they're disposing of them, they could arm them, they could secretly train them, they could extract them from the country one by one, and then they reappear, and then they come back a Navy SEAL or sniper, not in words like Melissa say, in training. So, Matt, that have us quite vulnerable to a myriad of problems. Skerrit want to eat his cake and have it. So now we agree he's selling Dominica. He exposing Dominicans. Matt, how many Dominicans that can afford a bodyguard like Skerrit and his family? Not all the big man Dominica you see walk in the streets of Roseau when they're ready. When you have all kinds of foreigners in Dominica, mix up with our little Navy SEALs and snipers. The regional security service has to come and help us. So who are going to help us to secure Dominica? When Skerrit do that madness, Skerrit don't care about all you, whether Labour, UWP, UPP or nothing. Skerrit care about he and his family, and if he have to sacrifice them for him to remain out of jail like Maduro, he will do it. And all of the little stupid ministers of government and senators, you hear what Skerrit say? He have secrets he will go to his grave with. He will not tell all you and claiming it is for security reasons, mattering a lot of shit. So,
all right. Thank you. Somebody there from overseas, a Dominican patriot, writes here. Good morning to you. This thing was first on my mind this morning when I woke up. Garrett is compelled to accept the third-party refugees given that Maduro wasn't the only one involved in drug trafficking questions across the Caribbean. Various prime ministers were also involved in facilitating these shipments. It's possible that both Dominica and Antigua played a role in this as well. And now, to restore their reputations, they feel they must welcome these refugees into their countries. I will not be surprised, and that's a security officer speaking, if other Caribbean countries ban Dominica from entering their country as well. I think it's important that the country makes sure that the people they receive won't affect national security. Dominica is small, so any change like that needs careful planning to protect the community and make sure that refugees are treated fairly. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes.
Matt, Matt, good morning.
Good morning to you, ma'am.
That is something else. Matt let me say thanks to Josh and Cabral. Matt, does it sound like a man who is afraid of Trump or who is looking for something from Trump or trying to please Trump? The man is afraid, so he has to do anything. Even if it comes to disappear Dominicans. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'm just reading a letter here. Comes from a Kittian journalist. Let's see if you can take this one on. An appeal to Caribbean leaders: respect your people enough to tell the whole truth. I want to make a respectful but necessary appeal to our Caribbean leaders. When you speak to your people about matters involving the United States, especially issues surrounding deportees and refugees, please remember this: we watch the same news as you watch. We hear the same press conferences. We listen to the same statements from the US president and government officials. We follow the same briefings, headlines, and interviews. We have heard how these individuals have been described. They have been called criminals. They have been labeled bad people. We have been told repeatedly that they are not wanted and do not belong to America or in America. So when you come to your Caribbean people and attempt to soften the narrative, suggesting that these individuals were only picked up for something minor, do not make it sound like a little traffic offense or imply lesser wrongdoing. Please understand how insulting that sounds. I'm not inventing these descriptions. I am simply repeating how U.S. government officials themselves have characterized these deportees. This morning I plead with our Caribbean leadership: show people some respect. For once, just once, in some cases, tell the truth. Not partially, not dressed up, not diluted wordplay designed to tiptoe around reality. Lay it out for your people. Tell us what is actually happening. What are the risks? What are the consequences? What happens if certain actions are not taken or taken? Please respect leadership that is direct, open, and honest. They support leaders who trust them with the truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable. Enough with these cock and bull stories. Enough with this talking down to a population that is informed, engaged, and pay attention, leaders. Pay attention. We are not children. We are not ignorant. We deserve better. This piece written by Navision journalist Marvin Hanley. Are you there, caller? Oh, sorry about that. Strange things are happening. Hello, talk to me. Yes, good morning.
Hey, Matt, good morning. It's not afternoon. How are you doing, brother?
Good morning to you. Good morning. Yes.
Well, let me say, first of all, Happy New Year to you, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And Happy New Year to all of your listeners. Matt,
Happy New Year to
this
you.
is-
Happy New Year. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Matt, this whole thing about refugees, I am suspicious of one thing, firstly, that Mr. Skerrit is now trying to befriend Donald Trump. He is trying to see if he can put himself in good light with Donald Trump so as to ease or lessen the weight of what's coming down on him or what is to come on him. That is my belief, firstly. And for that reason, I would oppose this as a Dominican. Secondly, Matt, we in Dominica, let us face it, Dominicans are under severe economic stress and pressure. So many people in Dominica, just ordinary families that cannot, and I want to repeat, cannot afford to feed themselves, Matt. And we all know that. We do not have jobs for Dominicans as it is right now. Many, 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 many Dominicans are without employment and the ability to gain an income to feed themselves and the family. So, Matt, if we're going to take refugees, in addition to those, when those refugees come to Dominica, how, if we cannot find employment for our own Dominicans, are we going to be able to find employment for those persons? Or are we to conclude that, well, we are not supposed to be concerned about employment for those persons? Well, that would be madness. When Canada and America and those places take refugees, Matt, those people are supposed to be brought into the communities that they live to live and work and that type of stuff. That's how countries take refugees. It's not as if we're going to have a couple hundred people that are going to come down here. They will not need to work. They will just be there and everything is nice for them. That is not the case, Matt. Isn't that correct, Matt?
That's true.
So on that basis, if this is not the case, I repeat, how are we going to provide employment for those persons to live and not become a burden on our society when we cannot do that right now for the 60,000 people, which would probably put it at maybe 20-something thousand employable people? We cannot employ these persons or these people. How are we going to take this thing? So I want to end by saying, Matt, any which way you look at this, it is madness. Dominicans should not stand for it. We should resist it. We should push back on Skerrit to let him know that this is nonsense and we are not and should not accept it. Thank you very much, brother.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Madness. A lot of responses here.
This so-called this so-called powerful country who can just invade another country or take the president out and charge him, cannot repatriate a few people to their own country. What is this nonsense? How is it America cannot repatriate these people to their own countries? That is nonsense. America is giving you a dose of your own medicine. He's sending people who arrived on their shores illegally, who have not been vetted, who have had no due diligence, and sending them back to you, criminals, so that you can get a taste of it. That's what's happening. And apparently Roosevelt Skerrit seems to have no choice to cover his butt. He has to accept. And he does it secretly without even informing the people of the country. This is crazy, Matt. This is unacceptable.
On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes?
Hello, good morning, Matt.
Morning to you, my brother. How you doing? How you doing?
Matt, I'm good, Matt. Matt, I want to join your last caller and the callers before me to see and conclude that what Mr. Skerrit is doing is madness, Matt. Matt, Mr. Skerrit is focusing on the scrums, the couple $1 million the Americanos are going to give him for those criminals. Those are not refugees in the scheme of things. There is a category for refugees. Those are criminals that the Americans do not want on their land. But they realize that Roosevelt Skerrit is a compromised man. So they are pushing it down his throat. But he's drinking water with it because he needed the money. He has misappropriated the resources of the state in respect to the CBI funds. And he's finding a narrow way out to get some money from the Americans. We cannot accept that. We reject that fully. We have a serious problem with unemployment. Look, we have a problem with crime. No, and then those bad men that America said they don't want them at all. You remember like when Roosevelt Skerrit said the airport site purchased by the James administration is not good at all for airport development.
Mm-hmm.
The Americans say they don't want those people there at all in their country because they're criminals. But Roosevelt Skerrit, driven by greed, line up to take them. Tell him, Matthias Pelte, we do not want that type of people in our country. And it is time for him to go. He told us he was going last year, Matt. And he continues to dig a hole the entire country therein. It's time for Mr. Skerrit to go. We do not want those criminals in our country. Thank you very much, Matt.
All right, thank you. Blessed Tuesday to you, Matt. It is madness. What's next? He will throw out the Cuban Brigade doctors and nurses like Gaston Brown next. What's going on here? What is going on here? Now, I got some information that most likely that our Cuban Brigade doctors will be sent out. And that's been happening very silently. I guess we'll get a confirmation of all that. Because it just happened in Antigua. Cuban doctors, nurses were sent out, and they're now accepting the African doctors from Ghana. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Yeah, Matt.
Yes, sir.
You hear me? Okay, listen. I think all Dominicans should come out now and have a mass demonstration. Workers, freedom, labor, UWP, and have a mass demonstration against Skerrit. That is nonsense now. That is damn nonsense. You can't be doing things like it's his backyard garden not there. That is nonsense. All Dominicans come out and have a mass demonstration against that government.
Oh. Well, and the suggestion there. You never know when people saying that the liberates might want to accept it. They would accept anything. Some of them, huh? Not all of them. Or some of them would. If the Prime Minister said, well, that's good for the country, they will accept. A lot of them. Somebody said, nobody will stop the talk. Or do something. Stop talking. Just do something about what's going on here. Let's continue in the morning. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, just quickly, my beloved brother. You see, people does not listen, Matt. Everybody here, but I hear them. Matt, we need to listen, is to digest and assess things when we hear them. Matt, did Skerrit go into the details of what that whole agreement entails, Matt?
Not really. He sort of brushed over it. Not giving too much detail, no.
And that's what I heard. I know I'm not hallucinating. He did. It's like the memorandum of understanding with China. Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Like we knows nothing. So his ministers in the cabinet, they knows nothing. He is the one who knows everything. I don't think he's trusting Dimitri anymore because now we can talk. So much Dominicans are sitting there. And a lot of them is the hatred oh blessing, oh Q95, and this a lot of us in our ignorance, Matt, and hatred. We refuse to learn from people who we perceive that cannot teach us anything because they did not go to school. They are not a prime minister. They don't have billions. Matt, Dominica is halfway gone. The Chinese already take a portion. Now with America in position on Dominica, having to do with potential criminals and hardcore criminals, sending them to Dominica. But that is why people have to be careful what they do, because everything there is some consequences, ramifications, far-reaching consequences. So now Skerrit and Gaston Brown, Matt, they are quite vulnerable. They are compromised because for them to stay out of jail, they cannot refuse America. Now America just have to tell them jump. And what they have to ask, Matt, how high? That's how the saying goes.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot say nothing because they're compromised. Matt, why? Do you know if Barbados is going to take some of them, Matt?
No, I haven't heard that. No.
Okay, well, we will look to see if America will be able to impose on Barbados these potential criminals and these hardcore criminals. America said they're rapists, they're murderers, they're drug traffickers and all kind of things. Now they're sending them to us, organized chaos again, Matt. And Skerrit is there without giving the journalists, the news people. We will listen to the press conferences, and then it will be to the press conference, and then it will be broadcast to the different media houses. Isn't that so? How things work, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
So then we would know exactly what Skerrit is going to do. But no, it's me alone that know what I'm going to do. Matt, we're in a country where we are sleepwalkers, we are like zombies, the dead going through the motion of the living, and just allowing a lunatic to run amok, Matt, in his delusional state, Matt, driven by greed and wickedness, to just destroy a country, and all of you they walk in a jacket and tie and tell you go to school, and all you're more foolish than people that did not go to school, allowing Skerrit to destroy Dominica. Thank you, bro.
Thank you. Matt, if they remove the Cuban brigades from Dominica, that's a blow for us, because I must tell you, these people are professional. Give them to me every day over some of the Cuban or the Dominican nurses. I don't think we'll have a choice. As I said, they have been sent back from Antigua. Gaston Brown sent them back. So, do you think Mr. Skerrit will have a choice? And maybe taking some African nurses as well? We'll have to look and see, yeah? Hello, talk to me, yes? Uh-huh.
Matt, good morning.
Morning to you, morning.
My opinion, Michelle, I cannot wish you a happy new year because we won't be happy. Matt, there's a country called Vanuatu. Somewhere in the Indian Ocean, I think, or somewhere in Pacific, somewhere. I personally believe that Skerrit have a plan. When you see Dominica stink, he will run away from somewhere and go in that area because it's a place that's far away from us. It's going to. You cannot tell me Trump have said that he's taking out the criminals, the rapists, the whatever it is, the rogues. He's asking all the other country to take him, and you're taking him, my God. And you're taking him out. And you agreeing without him agree. Right? Some, even Skerrit when he joined ALBA, we didn't know. He joined the Communist Party of China, we didn't know. He tried to go in Syria or something and do anything. When he hear about it, he jumped back on so on. He jumped in all that. He did not support the Palestinians against Israel because he played that in that thing. And all of a sudden, you want to take refugees, what Trump don't want to take, my God. Trump don't want to take and bring them in our country. Our children have to run away. No jobs. Nothing at all in our country and go to other countries. We don't have enough jobs. You only take out these refugees who may be rapists, We might raid our banks. We might raid our shops. We might get even kill us. You know, because how are you going to know what Trump is going to send? The worst ones he's going to send, right? He might even send some CIA agent to them to overput the same scary to undermine him. They know what it is in Venezuela. Right there. Come and walk around with people. Come and follow him. If ministry don't get it on your own, right? And taking your on your own, you don't really know to bring refugees. This is out of the question completely. And I think the parties in the country, more than ever, must unite. Not unite the workers, not this and that and so on. They must unite, my friend, because you cannot tell me a minister has come and decide, a prime minister and he can do what he wants to my country, as long as he's according to him, as long as he's, and take it. It cannot be, right? At my age, we have to march. I do something. I don't understand this thing. You check in my country over and just come and put people in the country. I don't know where they come from, and the others say no. That's Corey favor for Trump, right? That's Corey favor for Trump. You want to ease up and relax and so on and help him and do those things. And Trump has got no friend, you know. You turn against him, enemy, bam, he cut your neck, right? And I think the time has come for us to move out. The opposition must come and unite together. I don't hear about this one and that one. That's the thing for all of us. Be it whatever it is, let us unite. Because the question is, our country is going down. Our children don't have a country tomorrow. They can't come to the country. And next thing will happen. He wants to go to Vanuatu right away already. Thank you, Matt, for the time being.
Thank you. 9:22 is the morning time.
The United States and the Congo Dominica have entered into an agreement to facilitate third country refugees to be sent to Dominica to mitigate scenarios where the United States cannot return these individuals to their state of birth or origin. In our discussions with the State Department, there have been careful deliberations of the need to avoid receiving violent individuals or individuals who will compromise the security of Dominica. This has been acknowledged and well received by the State Department. Given the importance of bilateral relations between the United States and the Congo Dominica, I, as Prime Minister and Head of Government, believe it is important to find key points of agreement and compromise between our countries. This engagement is based on our responsibility to safeguard the well-being of our people, particularly the access to lawful travel, education, employment, and family connections, while strengthening cooperation between our two governments. I believe this will further deepen our long-standing relationship and signal clearly that Dominica remains a willing and reliable partner of the United States in our region. Let us, as we start this new year, we must choose steady reflection, not heightened emotion. This is a time for clear thinking, not division. Our country has faced challenges before, and we have always met them with resilience, dignity, and a deep sense of responsibility to one another. Let us begin this new year by lowering the temperature of our national discourse, choosing calm over conflict, and remembering that we are strongest when we stand together. This new year must also renew our shared commitment to nation building, above and beyond political or personal differences. Political views may differ, but our love for country must remain greater than any division.
Matt, good morning. Matt, the maths is not mathing. And that is total madness. Total madness. You agreeing to accept deportees from other countries Some may not even be able to speak English. Some may have committed crimes in the US. And the mere fact that they are coming to Dominica with an economy that cannot even sustain its own self, not even proper garbage trucks we can buy, not even our garbage we can pick up. We want to take in thousands of refugees to have them all over Dominica. I hope he planned to put them in Mondaniel and in Vacas. But you're going to have those people all over Dominica, unemployed. Bob Marley say a hungry man is an angry man. Unemployed, which means crime is going to take place because more crime is going to take place because these people need to support themselves and their families when they get deported. What is going to happen to Dominica, Matt? And this is the time Dominicans, red, blue, orange, purple, Dominicans should say enough is enough. Skerrit is hell-bent on destroying Dominica at any and every cost as long as he feels that it doesn't touch him. And if he talk about not informing his cabinet members about certain things, I am certain sure that his cabinet members found out about that decision at the press conference. The man has no respect for the country. He has no respect for Dominicans. He has no respect for his cabinet colleagues. When are Dominicans going to say is enough, enough is enough? Or when the refugees start committing more crimes because they are unemployed, they are going to blame the opposition again. Matt, this is madness, madness, and it looks like it's almost like it's a fait accompli that Skerrit is trying to cover up for something. Skerrit is trying to play nice boy to get his foot out of the fire.
Somebody said, I'm amazed that laborers that normally call you all of a sudden get moo. Our Haitian brothers have had some similar experiences with us and now live in Dominica in droves because things have become extremely hard and difficult in Dominica. So the Haitians themselves are leaving. Donald Trump posts a list of countries affected by the welfare recipient rate. The 45.1% rate for Dominica refers to the estimated percentage of thousands of households headed by immigration or an immigrant from Dominica that utilize at least one major federal welfare program. Read that for the people out there because they head like coconut, hard like coconuts. On the telephone, 929. Talk to me. Yes.
Hey, good morning, Mark. How are you doing?
My brother, just a little concerned and worried.
Happy New Year to you.
To you too, sir.
Mark, they say let's prepare everything ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I just turned on there to switch up at one time, but I just turned back on and I wanted to make a contribution about this refugee thing that I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
We have to realize that for the longest while, even long before we knew what was going on, passports were being sold out and rolled out in fish markets out in Europe and all those places. You remember that, right?
Yep.
Nice. So you had all kind of nefarious characters just buying passports. Passports just were sold out like Balao by the road. We saw that. And that has been happening. Passports were selling even long before we knew passports were selling because we experienced things in the early days. When all you finish, there's all your money, all your tax money. You see that early days. That's early days. I could listen to that creature, but then I stopped listening to that creature from the time I heard. Why am I going to ask you to pray to God when I can answer the press faster? That's when I switch off my ears to that demon. And I'm telling you, what is happening to us today, whilst we're calling these people refugees, you have to realize, if these people are caught in a country like the United States with our passport, where you think they're going to ship them to? The country that they have the passport in their hand holding. So a lot of these people, in my opinion, that got caught with Dominica passports. So they're going to be sent them to Dominica because they have Dominican passports. A lot of people not seeing that equation.
As a matter of fact, I reported that, so maybe you missed, and I reported that somebody from Syria with a Dominican passport was deported to Dominica just a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly my point. Maybe I didn't hear you say that. But then we have to see the big picture. If you have passports selling all over the world and you have sellers by the road doling it out like it's Balau, when you see these things coming back to hit us, imagine, you have to understand too, a lot of these people you're hearing about investment, they have nothing to do with investment to Dominica. The majority of these people that got our passports have no idea where Dominica is. But they have a Dominican passport in a strange country. I'll give you a scenario. My son works at, he works at 2 different places in New York, but he works at Hertz.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw some straight-head people came to rent a vehicle at Hertz, and they presented a Dominican passport to him. He is, in other words, he was born in the United States, but he went to school here, my son.
Mm-hmm.
So he carries 2 passports. But he's seen his passport or his parents' passport before him, or his country's passport before him. And the people that he's seen before him, they are nowhere close to what a Dominican should look like. And when he questioned them, and he tell them he knows that country, that's where he's from, they don't know the country. They just bought the passport. My son, my last son. So I'm telling you, when you have that equation out there, where you have a lot of people who just bought this passport like Balau, and they end up in the United States, they got caught because they're criminals. They continue to live their life of crime. So when they got caught and they caught with a Dominican passport, where you think they're going to send them to? Blessings asked earlier, are they going to be sent to Barbados and these other countries? Well, if Barbados not doling out its passport to nefarious characters and to dodgy people, then Barbados is not going to accept that because nobody will be caught with a Barbados passport. But when they are caught with a Dominican passport, a Kitchen passport, Antigua passport, of course they will be sent to the countries that they are holding the passport. So I just wanted to inject that to make people understand. All the time we were sitting on our backs, on our backside with our arms folded, and everything that happens to workers that do that. This is what the demon. I always tell you, cleanliness is next to godliness. The style that we have there is next to the kind of governance that we have. And I'm telling you, a demon, you cannot give a demon your praises and get a blessing. You will get a curse. Have a good day.
Have a good day. It's 9:33 in the morning. Good morning.
Matt, morning to you and your listeners. Matt, what are you in there? Madness. Matt. How could Prime Minister Scary said he going to just single-handedly decided to take refugees from overseas, from America to put into Dominica? Where are you going to put them? Are they going to create another reserve in Dominica for the refugees? Are they going to build tents or build homes for the refugees? How we could allow that, Matt? How can we allow that thing to happen? That thing have to first be carefully considered, right? Scary cannot just go on his own and just decide he's going to do that. No. Is he doing that because he want to feel or get a little sympathy from the United States government? No, Matt. Scary have to complain with the people. What is going on there? No, Matt. We need to come better than that, people. No, whether Labour, whether UWP, whether Freedom, right? It's going to affect everybody in Dominica. We cannot even have a good healthcare system in the place. And you're telling me you're going to bring in refugees from overseas, from the United States to bring in here? But let the United States create their thing. Let them deal with their people. Matt, I am really upset about that. You see me now, I am vexed, I am upset about that whole thing. All right? So, Mr. Skerrit, you cannot do it like that. This is not how things is done. You just come and just go in, and because you want sympathy from the United States, you just go in and just accept him. Or did you go on your own and just tell them, well, yes, we will do that because maybe something happened and you want sympathy? No, boss. That's not how things are done. No.
Somebody says Matt Vacants have a lot of empty houses and an empty mansion. So we have space for the refugees, okay? Sarcastically, we have space for the refugees. Huh? 449-3095-9697. Are you there?
Yes, Matt, I'm there.
Yes, sir.
Matt, do you know we have a problem with illegal firearms in Dominica?
Yes, we do.
You're aware of that, right?
We all are.
Okay, when we go and get all kind of refugees in to come to Dominica, do you know that we're going to have a problem with more illegal firearms because everybody's going to try to protect themselves?
Yep.
That's going to be a big problem for the police because a lot of those criminals and those refugees, they are people that was involved in all kind of gun business and whatever. Some of them even know to assemble firearms. So when you go and you bring in those kind of people, they do expect people to try to go and protect themselves and arm themselves. Then we're going to have a bigger influx of illegal firearms coming into Dominica. Watch my words.
All right, caller, thanks for your concern. Genuine concern. Somebody says, Matt, we should demand a copy of the agreement between the USA and Dominica. It is the time for transparency and accountability. We are aiding and abetting the USA to break the United Nations High Commission for Human Rights, or the United Nations Declaration on Human Rights, Universal Declarations on Human Rights. 449-3095-9697. Hello, talk to me, yes? Are you there, caller?
Hello, good morning, Matt Peltier.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to the people of Dominica. As long as God give me the strength, boots on the ground will be there to talk, at least to see things work out better for his people. Matt, where we are there now is in a very dangerous position. Matt, labor rights, non-rights, children not going to school. Matt, we have to mobilize because that situation going to create problem for Dominica's future. Matt, I'll tell you one of the things. Where we are there now, with this kind of refugee open up, we know already, it is said over and over, you're hearing about the guns, we're hearing about the drugs, we're hearing about what is happening in the world. Matt, Dominicans have a problem with their health. You yourself finished talk about what's happening to the Cuban doctors and nurses. Matt, we only have one out left for the closest survival. It was established big time by Rosie Douglas that Dominica should be going back to Europe, to France, to be able to get ourselves supported by our closest neighbors. But this government sway from that and take us to China, Venezuela. But we're finding ourselves in a line here now. What you see they send on Venezuela there now is something that a lot of people saying Trump don't know what he do and what he do not. I think Trump do, he take the captain out and he leave the problem in the hands of the Venezuelans because they have to fight and solve the problem. He tell you he will be overlooking, he's not going down there and manage, you know. He just going to be telling them this and this guy need to be locked up, and they're going to be locked up. But you see the problem we have in Dominica? They're sending now the problem to Dominicans.
You can be a labor right, you can be a non-right, you can be anything. The problem coming to meet us. When we get sick, you know the only place our people getting a survival with PT is Guadeloupe and Martinique. Guadeloupe and Martinique, we taking in people, you hear how they say the backdoor business. He yourself was saying the backdoor business was our Open Johnson from ancient times. People have been going to Martinique and Guadeloupe and Marigallant to get food support, to bring support, to get money support, to get health support. They bring in sick people lie down in a fishing boat, Matt. And you can understand the kind of give him a fishing boat in the channel. And when you reach in Guadeloupe, they pick you up straight to the hospital. And there's a system in Guadeloupe that since you enter France, until if death do you part, death do you part. But until there's nothing more, France don't give up on you. We will deal with it after. Matt, we are going to get France back doors, front doors, all where we could enter in France going to close on us. If we allow that thing to happen. Matt, take this thing very serious. I'm not just talking Matt, I'm talking to Dominicans. I still have life. Last night I dreamed there were some men in our airport with long guns entering the airport to hold up the airport personnel like they were coming into Dominica to do something. I am not telling you all a lie. I am telling all you up to now. I'm trying to put the pieces in the dream together. This morning I wake up to hear that discussion. Guadeloupe and Martinique will close their doors. France not going to agree to that. We, the Dominican people, Donald Trump sent that thing back to us to see how much boots, shoes, slippers, knee we have for us to stand up. We must tell Roosevelt Skerrit, referendum is a right. I listened to it this morning again because that came to my mind. There is no referendum on this decision, then a straight one point blank, yes, we're going to accept them. We create our problem, so we're going to take it. But you know the poor people of Dominica, plenty of them cannot buy a ham. And it's the same government that gives a certain portion of people a ham at the end of the year. See how bad it is. Your government, your people in your party that's supposed to be working and able to give people that not working a ham. You have to give them a ham. Matt, tell me what's going to happen when these refugees come down to Dominica. You know, Agouti going in everybody here now. We have to open a season now to help the farmers that, like the season they have is like every 1 month, the hunting season. We have to be able to set up a system now. I am asking for it for farmers. Because unless farmers can plant and feed us, we're going to be in a worse position. We have to be able to get an authority that a farmer can bring somebody to destroy agouti in their garden so that they produce. Open that program for you to hear people that telling you what's happening to them. But we're going to be just like the agouti. And I can tell you, our Dominican people, we will never be able to tell our children that we stand up. If we don't do it now, we have to stand up, we have to put a stop, we have to walk the streets, we're not going to fight, you know. We're going to show Dominica and the rest of the world that there's a nation that have some juice still left in them by God for them to stand for that blessed land. We have enough value that we will be able to rise, like the song this Dominica will rise again after that fall. But we have to be able to take the fall. Dominicans, get ready. This is the time. And if we fail this ship, like I said in the past, we are going to lose and will not be able to get out of that bad water.
All right, caller. Thank you. Matt, I'm pondering on this situation spoken to by our Prime Minister. I think President Trump rounded up all those criminals with Dominican passports and have decided to return them to the country where their passports were issued. I strongly believe that. I reported on a story just some weeks ago. Yes, and I was informed from Miami in that airport that there was a guy from Syria with a Dominican passport being sent back to Dominica. And I was contacted from the airport in Miami. That's to where the guy stayed. He did not stay in Dominica too long. I think he was sent back, or he went. He made some arrangements with some travel agency and was flown back to France. So that's my information. But he was deported with a Dominican passport. Guy from Syria to Dominica. I know that for a fact. 946. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes.
Yeah, greetings, brethren.
Yes, sir.
Greetings and greetings, Dominica. I think it's time for Dominica to take a stand. My brother, and what the call, I think Mervyn Collins said, that makes more sense. It's individuals that bought the Dominica passport, and they have them all over in USA territory entry points, and they have them for years, have them incarcerated. And I'll give you a scenario. The last time I traveled to Trinidad, and in coming back, I came back with a lot of CMOS. So when you came through, and then usually that never happened to me before, but somehow that day they had me go in a different room, and there was other people in that room. So they were asking me about what is that, what is CMOS, and I explained to them. But they were just you have something, they have asked a question about what you have. Anyway, I went to sit, and they check in. So they called me and they told me, listen, you're good to go. They checked me. And in that same room, I see people leave that room in handcuffs because apparently they were not in good standing. Because when they checked me, they see I was born in Dominica. My mother is from Dominica. My father is from Dominica. I went to school in Dominica. When you fill in your papers for green card or immigration, you put all those information, and they go way back. So they see all that I'm from Dominica, so they check all that and see I'm in good standing. But you imagine a foreigner with a Dominica passport. When they ask them, where your mother from? Where your father from? What language you speak? They cannot give you, and they know what language Dominica speak. So this is why these people and they're holding them back, and they seeing that those people are passport buyers. So this is what's going on. And now they have only reason the government have to send them back to Dominica. But the people in Dominica have to stand. Whether labor rights and them, I don't know what's wrong with the labor rights. I don't know what, some of my old family members tell me, man, I don't listen to Q95. I don't have time for that. And Q95 is the only station that educating the people in Dominica on what's going on. Like when I was a couple of days ago, I think I listened to Vibes. I just wanted to listen to something, and I went to sleep. I woke up in the morning, and the station was on, but I thought it was Q. But I said, why Q playing soca in the morning so early now? I heard it's Slim. I said, oh shit, that's not Q95. So this is what I'm saying. Early in the morning, educate the people, inform the people. You just playing soca music and everything. This is what I'm saying. Q is the only station that informing the people, and some of them because they're ignorant state of mind. They don't want to educate themselves. They say, I don't listen to you, I don't have time, fuck you. My own goddamn family member. This is what I'm saying. We have to take a stand. The people that really patriotic for the island. We have to take a stand for that not to happen, man. It's sad what's going on. This man is a madman, and he got to get out of here, man, by any means necessary. Like a caller said, he's in hot water because they catch Maduro, and all of them going to go down. So you always do that to peace the United States. But we have to agree for it in Dominica. I'm listening.
All right, caller, thank you. Matt, the people can call the radio and George Ack all they want. Skerrit already made that decision because he knows Dominicans, all they're doing is talk, and more talk. Talk. Somebody else says on Facebook, in any other country, there would be protests, but Dominicans just talk without action. This is the Prime Minister. This is the reason the Prime Minister treats Dominicans the way he does, huh? 449-3095-9697. You're gonna come back, yes, after this voice note.
Matt, I don't usually send voice notes twice on your program. But my brother, I would like to see, or we would like to see in Dominica, a copy of that understanding, that memorandum of understanding that Skerrit signed, or if he signed with the United States. We would like a copy of that. We would like to know what is in there, my brother. It's time for that government to come clean with the people. You understand? It's time, my brother. It's time for that government to come clean with the people. Okay? Thanks.
Much greetings to you, Matt. And greetings to all Dominicans. Matt, in yesterday's conference, Roosevelt Skerrit indicated that he had formalized agreements with the USA and preparations were on the way to bring refugees from the USA to Dominica. In a post on social media written by immigration attorney Tika Jude, there was detailed information explaining who the refugees were, where they were coming from, and that there might be a contractual agreement with monetary benefits for the country. I think that is what I saw. I don't want to misquote what I read, Matt. But you know, Matt, I am in awe, like many Dominicans who had not heard any consultative discussions with the Dominican people by Roosevelt Skerrit as to who really were those refugees. And you know, whether they were Palestinians displaced from Gaza due to Benjamin Netanyahu war and Donald Trump's plan with Israel to take over Gaza, or if they were actually deportees removed from the USA and sent to any country, including Dominica, that would accept them, since the original countries where those deportees came from refused to accept them as their citizens. Matt, I find that very awkward and disturbing that the media in Dominica did not seek clarity on that issue on behalf of the Dominican people who were listening and who are left ignorant, more ignorant than before, and are still asking questions. Matt, since the media failed to ask sufficient questions on behalf of the Dominican people, Matt, I would like to ask some questions to Roosevelt Skerrit. I would like him to tell the Dominican people exactly who are those people that he took, that he has agreed to bring into Dominica, and where are they coming from? Are those asylum seekers or deportees? What contractual agreement did he make on behalf of Dominica with the USA? We, the Dominican people, need to know the terms and conditions and whether there were any form of financial support in that agreement, in those contracts, on what in the contract, if there were any contract at all. We want to know how many millions was promised to support those people in Dominica. I personally want to know, is there a path towards a citizenship for those refugees or deportees of Roosevelt Skerrit? Will those people be eligible to vote in Dominica's elections? Are those deportees going to replace the illegal and customary voters from the USA or from the diaspora, for use of a better word, who are used to coming into Dominica to sabotage the results of Dominica's elections? Are those deportees going to replace those people that he won't be able to import to Dominica to keep him in office, Matt? To conclude, Matt, I have serious concerns about bringing in those people in our society that is already overwhelmed with crimes and drugs. I have serious concerns because we have a corrupt and foolish police force who are compromised and who aid and abet with crimes. Look at what they did with Malik Skerrit. He killed a whole man in an accident and he was never charged. Matt, don't you think that the influx of those people are really going to impact our healthcare, our failed healthcare system in Dominica? Because we have one main China Friendship Hospital where people die by just taking a smile. They die by just smiling. I heard one of the reporters ask one question, Carlisle. Well, Carlisle is not a reporter. The only thing concern he had is about housing for the people. Like, really? Is that all the media in Dominica could have asked on such a serious issue? Such a serious matter that's going to impact the way of life, that's going to impact Dominica most likely negatively, Matt? Matt, I await for the responses. And Roosevelt Skerrit better not come with the bullshit response that he gave you all when you asked whether Malik Skerrit was the holder of a diplomatic passport. I am listening, Matt. Thank you.
All right, Dominica, stick around.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95. The latest happening events, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95. The big station.
Wow, a new laptop.
Yep.
How much you pay?
Only $10. This Christmas, sign up for any home bundle or the Tobo 400 internet plan or higher and get a laptop or tablet for only $10. And there's more. You can win even more festive prizes with our Christmas Spin the Wheel. That's faster, more reliable internet with same upload and download speeds and fantastic rewards. Sign up in-store today or visit online at discoverflow.co for more info. We keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
Sunrise Airways is connecting the OECS fly to and from Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica, St. Kitts, and Antigua with seamless onward connections. Enjoy competitive fares and the best in travel. Book now at sunriseairways.net or with your travel agent. Sunrise Airways, One Caribbean. We fly to connect people. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Sunrise Airways.
If you know your favorite store, dial it now. 612-1253. That's Mega. You can rely on Mega for some real deals on name brand clothing and electronics. High quality, low price. We are a wholesale and retail store located in Calabishi, right on the main road. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram as Mega Deals Dominica. Like our page. Check out our stuff. Call us, visit us. Would appreciate that. Come try it on. Love it. Buy it at Mega Deals. Your one and only online and brick and mortar store. Mega Deals is also on wheels. We make it convenient for your shopping. We deliver straight to your door. Email us at info@megadealsda.com. Rely on Mega Deals for some real deals.
The HPV vaccine is a safe and reliable way to protect against cervical, penile, oropharynx, vulval, and anal cancer. HPV vaccines work best if administered prior to exposure to the human papillomavirus. HPV is mainly spread through sexual contact. HPV vaccines are available to all prepubertal boys and girls at the grade 6 level. Vaccinating not only protects yourself, but also protects those in the community who are unable to be vaccinated. Your decision makes a difference. Vaccines are given at all public health clinics in Dominica, and they are completely free of charge. Contact your healthcare provider for more information.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and Social Services in collaboration with UNICEF, PAHO, and Gavi.
Somebody says, man, that refugees thing is just a distraction from Venezuelan crisis that has named Eastern Caribbean leaders that surfaced in the indictment of Maduro yesterday. And that will not go away. It will not go away. All labor rights, somebody says, will take 1 or 2 in their homes, no problem. I never thought in my lifetime I would live to see a descendant of a former slave who's now, as political power, getting involved in human trafficking and using humans. Using humans as modern day cargo. This inhumane, and those involved will pay for it. And as we informed you yesterday, several Caribbean politicians are alleged to have been implicated in a sweeping United States federal indictment targeting Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, according to court documents filed in New York yesterday. So yes, some Caribbean politicians will be indicted or has been named in this indictment. A story to follow very, very closely. U.S. prosecutors claim that cocaine traffickers moving drugs from Venezuela towards the United States paid bribes to politicians along their transit routes, including the so-called Caribbean route, in exchange for protection from arrest and freedom to operate with impunity. While no Caribbean officials are named in the indictment, the documents allege that political figures in the region benefited financially from drug-fueled corruption. According to the indictment, Maduro and members of his inner circle used state resources, including military escort and diplomatic passports, to facilitate the movement of large quantities of cocaine while collaborating with violent international drug cartels. Prosecutors further allege that the trafficking network extended through transshipment points in Honduras, Guatemala, and Mexico, where traffickers paid portions of their profits to corrupt politicians who, in turn, used the proceeds to maintain and expand their political power. A lot will surface in the next few weeks, for sure. In the not too distant future, as we continue to follow this indictment. So a few Caribbean politicians may be indicted or will be indicted according to this court document. Let's see what happens in the next few weeks. Dominica might be very information surfacing at this time. Everybody's asking who may be involved. On the telephone 1004, talk to me. Yes.
Matt.
Yes, ma'am.
Let him, I watched everything last night. Let him name them, call out their name. That's why Salaka point is one. Matt, you know Patrick John was an innocent compared to what is happening now. Patrick John was innocent compared to what is happening now. Thank you.
Thank you. In other words, who the cap fit, let them wear it. I heard the Prime Minister saying yesterday too that there's no way any government minister is involved in any drug trafficking. So he cleared himself yesterday. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yes, Matt.
Yes.
Listen, what's going on and what is revealing, a lot of things, questions can be asked. Because you can remember, Matt, that big seizure, that big bust of cocaine, that was a $40-something million worth of cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, a lot of questions is being asked because, I mean, it's just surprising that volume of cocaine could have show up at a location, no arrest, nothing, sitting where it was found there, just waiting to be picked up by law enforcement. And later on, you're hearing in another country, a same large stack of cocaine was picked up. You know, it raises questions. It raises questions. Something just not sounding right. Amid all what has been going on there right now, something just not sounding right. But sooner or later, things will unfold. You just got to have patience and let things unfold the way it is unfolding. But, you know, they will get right down to the bottom of it. I just read it in terms of St. Vincent being implicated with regards to
the plane, the aircraft, yes, that was caught in I think Santo Domingo. Yes.
As alleged belongs to Maduro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so St. Vincent already is being named. So we just have to wait and see the orders that are going to pop up in this whole situation. I'm listening. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Yes, I think I just read that very story too, that this plane that was caught some time ago by U.S. authorities in Santo Domingo flown to, Miami. Yes, St. Vincent seemed to be implicated in that arrest there. Hello, talk to me on that.
Hey, good morning, Matt.
How you doing, sir? How are you?
I am good. Matt, did I hear you say that the indictment stated that the leaders took bribes to maintain their hold on power?
I will read that. I don't think basically it's saying that. Yes, basically. I don't know
I'm
word
saying,
for word.
you see, because we have some political parties. You have never heard them having not even a big sale, not even one, not even to sell 2 sweet potatoes on the roadside or roast plantain to raise funds. However, every election, they are able to spend millions of dollars, and you ask yourself, where are those funds coming from, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if any correlation can be made between those funds and the events tied up in this indictment against Maduro. I've never been a fan of Trump and what he's doing. I think they're going for Maduro for a different reason. But in those indictments, if they are substantiated, they can be proven. It would be nice for us to hear from some of those leaders in the Caribbean to tell us where they have gotten those millions of dollars they spent on elections when they have never had a rose plantain sale. The UWP has gone around and they've tried to raise funds and they've done everything. The other parties in Dominica are just fledgling. We have a party in Dominica, although an election was not contested, last one, they spent over $16 million. And I'm wondering where those funds are coming from. And it would be nice, let us watch the money, like some people always say, to see where they come from, where they go in, and those people who are involved. Thank you, man.
Well, we have to watch very closely. I'll read that story again because, says it doesn't name any particular person just yet, but Caribbean politicians allegedly implicated in U.S. indictment of Nicolas Maduro. Reported there by Sherman Bick Charles in the Antigua News. Several Caribbean politicians are alleged to have been implicated in a sweeping United States federal indictment targeting the Venezuelan president Nicolas Maduro, according to court documents filed in New York. The indictment, which forms the basis of Maduro's capture and transfer to U.S. custody, alleges that senior figures within the Venezuelan government operated a state-sponsored narcotics network that relied on corruption across the Caribbean region. U.S. prosecutors claim that the cocaine traffickers moving drugs from Venezuela to what the United States paid bribes to politicians along key transit routes, including the so-called Caribbean route, in exchange for protection from arrest and freedom to operate with impunity. While no Caribbean officials are named in the indictment, the documents allege that political figures in the region benefited financially from drug-fueled corruption. According to the indictment, Maduro and members of his inner circle used state resources, including military escorts and diplomatic passports, to facilitate the movement of large quantities of cocaine while collaborating with violent international drug offenders. 449. Dominica, the story is getting bigger and bigger every day, so keep watch. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes, sorry about that. To some Caribbean officials, maybe, as I said, doodling in their pants at this time, huh? Hello, talk to me. 1012. Yes, are you there?
Yeah, hello, man. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, man. And good morning to all Dominicans.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew, you remember when this is Mr. Maduro in the Dominican Republic?
Yes.
Last year, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is when the U.S. get all the intelligence. Is that they get everything. All the party, all the deals, everything. So, anyway, all the hot water, I don't know how are they going to come out of that one. Yeah, stay tuned, sir. Yeah.
Stay tuned. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. 1012. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Matt, finally. Matt, you can remember what Trump did with the USAID, Matt?
Yep.
Just recently there, the United States Agency of Independent Development, Matt, where everywhere, man, they could help and give money. Then they said that was too corrupt. They get rid of it, Matt. So when you have these little foolish boys playing with toys, Matt, think they can go in big man league. Matt, when I was little, Matt, I like football. But Matt, you know, you go after around fellas, all they giving you is some nasty tackle, Matt.
Oh, yes.
We have a Ravens and you know they cover it, they put some culvert over it. Man, just sending you down there for tackle. Man, giving you some nasty tackle because that's big man game and you're a little boy. I could play football, man. But I get some nasty tackle from big men. So you have to learn, if you're featherweight, Matt, in boxing, would you want to go and fight if a heavyweight, Matt?
Nope. And
in the rules of boxing, legally, it will not be allowed. So, Matt, I am just saying there are no guarantees, and the US and Europe and them playing those thieves and criminals in the Caribbean in the zone of peace, Matt, like it's Chinese checkers and draft and chess and all of that. And Matt, I am saying, if they can get rid of the USAID, what are the guarantees? If these fools go and take that deal from America to take criminals from everywhere, Matt, they call in refugees, Matt, what are the guarantees? They're going to hold up to the part of the bargain. Let's say they give you $10 million or $3 million or whatever, and they say that's a starting thing. 2 years, 3 years down the road, government change, or even the same Trump just come and say, you know something? No more money for all you, man. And Matt, in closing, Matt, you had Cuban security guarding Maduro, and you have Russia and China take over $2 billion, Matt, of Cuban silver and other reserves and take back to their countries. Why they did not leave their intelligence to guard Maduro, Matt? Matt, are you there with me?
I'm right here.
So when this little fools think they're going big man, game man, my brethren, you will be left to dry. Look at Maduro, the largest oil reserve in the world his country holds. And he could not be secured from the wrath of those who run the world, Matt. They take all that silver and they go with it because they know they're owing them billions of dollars. So if America come and quasi the place, break up the place, Matt, they know at least they go with the wealth, but they did not leave. Their security to protect Maduro's career. You and Gaston Brown say, you're skilled or you're too skilled for that. My brother, if you think all you can play in big man game, they will tackle all you and send all you in the ravine and leave all you with no security. America will just send how they call them, the Delta Force and all the CIA to just throw all you up and spit all you out. Matt, I am saying, I haven't heard from Dr. Fountain. I heard from Joshua Francis. I hope Joshua Thompson is preparing an address to deal with that issue there. I know you have a king plan for Grand Format. It is the thing. I hope Dr. Fountain can come and tell us, my brother, we cannot allow that. I know everybody's afraid these days, and everybody, maybe a lot of us are compromised, but Matt, Dominica cannot go down further more than where the Chinese and scared have brought it. I warn all you all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Somebody, I think on Facebook, Mr. Albinois is saying, Matt, did you read the whole indictment? Well, you're closer to the indictment than I am, of course, Mr. Albinois. Go down to Brooklyn Court and get the indictment yourself and share the information because you think that what we're talking is nonsense. Okay, Al, so go down to the court. You're very close to the Brooklyn, so go down to the court and find the indictment and read it for us. Okay, Al, if you're doubting the information. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? Are you there, caller? 449-3095-9697. Read the indictment yourself, Al, and you'll discover what is in there, right? Thank you very much. And share the information with your colleagues, okay? I always tell you, think before you speak. All international press is reporting that, but you got Dalton Thomas, Al. Go find out for yourself. If you don't believe me, you're about an hour away from Brooklyn, right? Go to the court there and find out what's in there. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yes, Matt.
How you doing, sir?
I don't like to call twice, but the point is,
Yes,
you just swore about something whereby some Caribbean governments may names came up in the Maduro thing. I do not know if Donald Trump has a mantle or has something, or perhaps it's Kevin Davis on that list. And he's now hanging a mantle over his head to ensure that he let him know that he's there. And now he's asking us, so forcing them now to take refugees because he couldn't have agreed to just go and take refugees like that. You know? And the other thing I'm talking about is the press. Our press in Dominica are not united. I'll say why. If you have an important discussion, talk, you ask an important question, and instead somebody says, follow up on the question sometimes. Very important questions, don't say. And instead of follow up, they go to their own agenda and ask their own questions. Those questions who are there in Dominica, who feel that they want to hear the answers, when you ask a question, follow up on it, you know. And that's the problem, because you just sit back and you sit no, and you go to our own question and say this and that, and scare just giving it. So they must unite themselves, because this thing, you cannot have a situation where a man agreeing, right, to go and get foreign people and bring them in the country. We do not know about it, my friend Matt. We do not know about it. You never tell us about it. You are agreeing. There must be something. I don't know if millions talk, you know, because I mean the how you call them? They are the guards in Madura place. They must have got something. They got something to pay. I cannot say if millions will talk something. So talk, but I can understand how somebody can just go and agree on a situation, Trump especially, and just decide, well, to take the bring them, you know? And that is a serious thing for us, a serious thing. They have been taking our land and not paying them. I didn't know, seeing when the refugees come, take our land, my land, and so on, and don't pay me the same way. I mean, I don't know. It's frightening, man. It's frightening.
It is frightening. 449-3095-96 and 97. So many phone calls, huh? So many phone calls this morning. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Good morning, Mr. Peltier.
Good morning to you.
In life, there are two things. There are people who believe, there are people that don't believe. You have one doubting Thomas, and you have one that people who believes. And this I have realized there are two men. One in America, one in St. Thomas or St. Denis. That is the Mr. Alexander, and then the other man. Everything that they are there who feels it, they don't. But I want to say to them, don't think you are something when you're nothing. Take it lest you fall. And when you up, it's best you down and go up than you up and fall down. And everything this Bill man and the other Alexander man is just everything. They are dismissing everything. But I guess they don't have no family in Dominica. They have no children in Dominica. They have nothing in Dominica. So that is why they don't. They always say, or maybe they may be getting something to do to say something. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. 449-3095-96 and 97. This is the Hot Set, Dominica's most talked about talk show. Trying to force.
Good morning, Matt. You have the tape someplace. Play the tape where Scary said a couple years back. Dominica need 40 more thousand people. The economy or the people everywhere, everybody going overseas, blah, blah, blah. Play the tape, Matt, so Dominicans could hear what Scary says. So he knew, Scary knew that was coming. Because he said, on air, Dominicans need to make more children. You remember that tape, Matt? Play. So he knew it was coming. He's a wicked man.
Somebody's reminding you that you just have to Google the information. You don't need to drive down to the court to find out. Just Google, a simple Google, huh? Indictment in the Maduro case. I just give you a hint, right? Thank you very much. Educate yourself, my brother. Educate yourself.
So I ask you, what are you doing inside Bloombox? You have a farm? You tell me, that's how it has sought. I've been married 37 years. Look at my money farm. They say, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
Dominica breakfast time. Dominica breakfast time. At Dominica Freight Systems, we provide services which are flexible, reliable, and customizable to meet your unique requirements. Dominica Freight Systems, your total freight solutions from start to finish. Located in Cateville, Dominica. Contact us on 616-1705 or visit our Facebook page for more information today. Dominica Freight Systems.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-haves. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica, and yet we deliver. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top tier service, trusted products. At 255-6810 or 316-0164, or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc., the biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
Just me goal winning Roseau again. Same place outside Flossie's. I tried to dock in, but you had time see me. Well, story start again. Million, lot of my power we got, son. Soccer fella. I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's. And you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket, yeah. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Well, when you're still telling me, I know already. To pack a spetting why? But it can my pepper palais. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossie's. Right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossie's can't do it to you.
Sunrise Airways is connecting the always the ends. Fly to and from Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica, St. Kitts, and Antigua with seamless onward connections. Enjoy competitive fares and the best in travel. Book now at sunriseairways.net or with your travel agent. Sunrise Airways, One Caribbean. We fly to connect people. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Sunrise Airways.
Somebody says, man, all those who look down on their Dominican brothers and sisters because they were in the burn sea with crumbs, collection should begin cooperation before they too may be indicted for being beneficiaries of narco trafficking money. All of those of you who may be or look down on others. Mr. Albinwa again. It's on Google. Just Google it, man. I can pull it up right there for you and send it to you, okay? Somebody says, man, all those laborers that voted for Skerrit are responsible for all the crisis we're facing right now. Ask them if they're going to vote for Labour and continue to with the same mistakes. Dominicans need to know. 449-3095. Well, that's for them to answer. On the telephone. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, morning, man.
Morning to you, sir. How are you?
How are you doing, sir?
Hanging in there. 10.
Yes, you see, with all this talk we are talking,
Yes.
that is not it. I mean, the talking is good to educate people.
Mhm.
But at the same time, we should prepare him to stand up and ask for the resignation of Skerrit. Ask for his resignation, but I know he will not go down easy because he doesn't want their foot to leave the tin of butter and go in the mud. But then we have, if he don't want to resign, we have to, revolt.
Okay, caller, thank you very much. 449-3095, 96 and 97. Let's listen.
Matt,
Yeah.
good morning and good morning to all conscientious Dominica. I'm listening to your program and I'm laughing. I love the spirit of Mia Motley because she's talking the truth. She talks the truth. All Mia Motley wanted is Ross Medical School, but she's not going to pick up deportees. Matt, I personally have to make the authority know that Dominica don't have good health system, and they should be rejected to accept those deportees. Magwesa, ici Sandolite Bonvian, il peut take en les barricades cadrivé. That man want to sell our country. Liberate, are you not seeing that? It's more crime And all you will not have prison to hold those crimers. Matt, ask Mia Motley how much of those deportees she taking. You think that lady is a strong, educated lady. When she did tell labor rights in the convention, when the government not doing for you, or you cannot vote them. Thank you, Mia Motley. Don't involve yourself in that saga, you know. We want peace in the Caribbean. We want peace in the Caribbean. We don't want money. Larger job. Matt, good morning and good morning to all conscientious Dominica. I'm listening.
What's up? Well, I'm listening. But Matt, what I can say, really about this decision by the Prime Minister in taking refugees and stuff like that. And he, in his press conference, remember he said that Dominica is not implicated in any of the this revelation that's really coming out with Maduro and basically like Dominica is safe, based on how he spoke, right? But remember, there's a large quantity of cocaine, two large quantity of cocaine from the north side of the island. You had one where he said, fix it, just fix it up and stuff like that. And, and that was swept under the carpet. Then another quantity of cocaine came in, just clean sweep came in, and a large quantity of, $50-something million?
46.
And you can hear the Prime Minister right now saying that Dominica is not. Where did the cocaine came from, and how did the police know that this cocaine is up in the north? Not just a little thought on it, just thinking about it. And this Prime Minister, boy, I don't know, Matt, but whoever believes him, I think they don't, not even Satan, I think they really have in their heart when they believe this Prime Minister, because God is not into this man's heart at all. Anyway, thank you.
All right, 449-3095, 449-3096, and 449-3097. This is Q95, and this is The Hot Seat.
Yes, 20% off. But wait, there's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive.
Good morning, man. Man, for everything we compare ourselves with America. Now, Scarrett is making us like America. We're complaining. But why are we complaining? If our Prime Minister does something and agrees to something with the President of the United States, I mean, the two most powerful men in the world have come to an agreement. But I believe in my Prime Minister. He has always done things in the interest of Dominicans. He has never done anything that's not in the interest of Dominica. And he has never lied to us. Why are Dominicans making a big fuss about bringing in foreigners to a country that needs people? Remember, our Prime Minister told us some time ago that we needed to make more children. And his wife told us we just need to make them and they will take care of them. Labor will take care of them. All the Prime Minister is doing is making sure that we Dominicans and those new Dominicans will be in the best standing. We wanted to get visa access back to America, and he's going to do that. I believe in the Prime Minister. He's an honorable man, and he will do what is right for Dominica at all times. And we need to understand that. This man doesn't hate his country. He loves Dominica. Every passport he has sold is in the interest of Dominica. And we never said anything before. Why are we complaining now? We voted for this government because we believe in them. We get the government we deserve. And that is something Dominicans have to understand. Stop calling Q95 and just batting all your gums together. You know? Stop. We've gotten to where we wanted to get, and now we're complaining. For what? Why are we complaining? Just making noise on Q95. Play some soca music, man, Matt, and let people stop talking. Because all we do is talk, talk, talk. That's all we ever do. And then I hear stories about what we did in the 70s. So, Matt, I welcome our new Dominicans. It is the Nature Isle. And we're going to have different languages and different people and different culture. I'm just waiting for when we start the new Chinese New Year celebration. And, you know, we must have a Hispanic party. We have Haitian flag day already. You know, it's that's what you call the Caribbean or Dominica is truly a melting pot. So let's just welcome more. You might get Syrians, Koreans, you know. Let's enjoy the new Dominica. That's what we voted for, isn't it?
It is our first Global VNQ show for 2026, and we continue to engage with our local, regional, and global Q family listeners and friends of Dominica at home and abroad. With me, Tuesday night is Justice Dr. Irving Andre, Social Scientist Simeon Joseph, Pastor Dr. Randy Rodney, Mr. Claudius Sanford, retired ASP Nicholas George, and former Dominica UN Ambassador Crispin Gregoire. We will discuss national security and administrative accountability, crime and small arms proliferation, border security and police integrity, societal norms and tolerance which breed crime and undermine social stability and national security, and the implications for Dominica and the Caribbean of the U.S. invasion of Venezuela. So here are some issues and questions that we hope to deal with. Is there effective national security and accountability in Dominica? Is crime and small arms proliferation now rampant in Dominica, considering there were 24 homicides in 2025? Is there a problem with border security and police integrity in Dominica? Have societal norms and tolerance in Dominica been fostering crime and undermining social stability and national security? Do the government's policies reduce gun proliferation? Has the government held anyone accountable for importing drugs? Has enforcement of gun legislation in Dominica been successful? If not, why? What is the way forward? Is the government willing to take the guns from the little snipers? Is gun violence being used to intimidate persons opposed to the regime? However, as we begin, we will briefly look at the implications of the U.S. invasion of Venezuela and the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. What does governance of Venezuela look like going forward? Who is now in charge in Venezuela? And what are the implications for Dominica and the Caribbean? So tune in Tuesday night, Global View on Q, 8 p.m. for more.
The United States and the Congo Dominica have entered into an agreement to facilitate third country refugees to be sent to Dominica to mitigate scenarios where the United States cannot return these individuals to the state of birth or origin. In our discussions with the State Department, there have been careful deliberations of the need to avoid receiving violent individuals or individuals who will compromise the security of Dominica. This has been acknowledged and well received by the State Department. Given the importance of bilateral relations between the United States and the Commonwealth of Dominica, I, as Prime Minister and Head of Government, believe it is important to find key points of agreement and compromise between our countries. This engagement is based on our responsibility to safeguard the well-being of our people, particularly the access to lawful travel, education, employment, and family connections, while strengthening cooperation between our two governments. I believe this will further deepen our long-standing relationship and signal clearly that Dominica remains a willing and reliable partner of the United States in our region. Let us, as we start this new year, we must choose steady reflection, not heightened emotion. This is a time for clear thinking, not division. Our country has faced challenges before, and we have always met them with resilience, dignity, and a deep sense of responsibility to one another. Let us begin this new year by lowering the temperature of our national discourse, choosing calm over conflict, and remembering that we are strongest when we stand together. This new year must also renew our shared commitment to nation building, above and beyond political or personal differences. Political views may differ, but our love for country must remain greater than any division.
Dominicans, we have 80. Dominica, we have 18 more minutes on the hot set. Most Dominicans, or maybe from what I gathered this morning there, taking a quick pause, most Dominicans disagree with the Prime Minister after this move. On the telephone, good morning to you. Good morning.
Matt, good morning. I'm finally able to get through after many tries. I'm sorry to be one of those to say that, but this morning your line seems to be pretty jam-packed, and it reflects the concern of Dominicans on what is happening. Matt, let me say two things there. One on principle, that's the first thing, and one on, how you call it now, that covers many other areas, i.e. accountability, transparency, and all those things that you could match with governance. And I'm always about good governance, and that is the kind of thing. But Matt, let me say as a preamble that Dominica is a Christian nation. Dominicans are welcoming people. And out of the goodness of our heart, we ought to be open to be welcoming people in distress, people from other countries who may be going through whatever persecution in their own land. And so it would be good that as Dominicans, in essence, because of the nature of our personality and the fact that we are a Christian country, we extend open arms to those who are in distress and seeking refugees and other kinds of ways of means of improving themselves. But Matt, on another level, when you heard yesterday that there was an announcement that Dominica entered into an agreement with the United States to facilitate the transfer of third-party refugees to our island to address situations in which the U.S. is unable to return these individuals to their country of birth or origin, that statement is loaded of concerns. Loaded of many concerns, because when you say, okay, that you enter in agreement with the United States, and the main purpose is to address situations in which the United States is unable to return these individuals to their country of birth and origin, what could be those situations that would allow for people not to be able to return to their country? And why would it be the richest country in the world, the most affluent, a country that provides more opportunities for people the world over, in compared to Dominica, that is struggling for the people of Dominica who cannot even live? Hundreds of Dominicans are living in Dominica, but they just cannot see their way. They just cannot make ends meet. They just cannot see themselves living healthy, fruitful, productive, gainful, happy lives in Dominica. compared to the United States? Why would the United States not be able to deal with refugees who cannot return to their birth or origin? That's what the Statue of Liberty is for. That's what Ellis Island is about. That's what America is founded on. But apart from that, there are certain major concerns in the statements that the Prime Minister has said, and I want to identify a few of them. You know, it seems to me at the heart of that agreement is to allay or defer the sanctions that have been placed on Dominica by the United States. So is that the best agreement we could come up with? Because the United States has placed sanctions on Dominicans, that we can say, okay, to make that better.
Make it right.
All right?
Yes. You're
Yeah.
right.
We're going to invite refugees. Is it the refugees that caused Dominica to be on the refugee? Isn't it the CBI passport
Great question. Great question. Yes.
that caused Dominicans to be on that list? It's not about refugees. Okay? Remember in 1996, we had the situation of the Egyptian politician who was being persecuted, Al-Masari. And people rose arms and he was not allowed to come to Dominica. That was a legitimate situation. There was somebody facing persecution in their own land. How is that before? Today, we never opened our doors. First of all, let us look at it. The amount of Dominicans who are against Haitians coming to Dominica, who are fleeing persecution and poverty in their own land. I have never heard the government of Dominica make a strong statement to welcome the Haitians into Dominica as they are doing now. There are so many other people all over the world who are experiencing persecution. We have never done that. So what kind of trade-off is there when you are saying, because the United States has placed sanctions, we are going to import refugees into Dominica? It is not the refugees, and I will say it again, that have allowed Dominica to be on the list that it is. And so the Prime Minister began by saying, and you see, he had discussions with the USA. That's very important and very salient. So you had discussions with the USA. Why? In light of the December 16th proclamation, right? That had the partial visa. So that is the reason why you went to the discussions to bring those people into Dominica. And he went on to say Dominica has been engaged in ongoing dialogue with the United States on matters of mutual interest. After 23 years in Dominica, Matt, can you tell me one tangible, visible, productive, forward-thinking, right, dialogue that this government has given to the people of Dominica based on their relations with the United States of America? Can you show me one investment if all this dialogue? So you mean to tell me after 23 years, that is the best dialogue you can have with the United States for mutual interest, the richest country in the world? You mean to tell me there are no other educational, sporting, cultural, medical, other areas that you could enter into the government of Dominica mutually? We had Ross University, which was an American university. That could have brought so much mutual benefit and interest to Dominica. That place could have been developed into an offshore medical facility for best of it. That is, and the United States has so many medical universities. That is the best you could come up with for Dominica. And you are saying that in his statement that the agreement reached on one of the primary areas of collaboration. That is the only primary area of collaboration you could enter into with the United States for Dominica, when there are so many opportunities: manufacturing, IT, AI, medicine, nursing, all those kind of things there, the construction of perhaps the extension of our Deepwater Harbor, the construction of perhaps of our cruise village, the construction perhaps of so many other things, enhancement of our hospital. That's the primary area of collaboration to bring deportees to Dominica. And he went on to say again, the USS Dominica has entered into agreement to facilitate third country representatives to be sent to Dominica, where Dominica can meet, listen to this man, in his statement, where Dominica can mitigate scenarios where the USA cannot return these individuals to their state of birth or origin.
Can you imagine that?
The United States, the country that can go into Venezuela, overthrow government,
kidnap a president, bring him to America to stand trial. You are telling me that you are saying you can mitigate scenarios where the USA cannot return. You can go into countries the world over and bomb them and overthrow governments, and you cannot. The United States hasn't got the capacity, okay, to return individuals to the state of their birth of origin. You support Israel to bomb Syria, okay? And you want to go over there and say you're going to develop a top of the world, that Syria, when rebuilt, would be the envy of the world. And you come and tell me that is what the agreement you want to enter in Dominica? So much in that statement is one of concern. And the Prime Minister said again that discussions, they were careful deliberation of the need to avoid necessary violent individuals or individuals who will come to Dominica and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So after all those passports we have sold to criminals. Now, one of the things, Matt, that I'm not sure, I don't know if you remember, on the 18th of February this year, in one of the Prime Ministers...
I mean last year.
2025, he said, Dominica, he revealed that he's working on documentation for Dominican deportees from the United States. And I don't know if you remember, during that press conference, he said that President Donald Trump was intensifying his crackdown on immigration, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And they had recognized that there were about 3 to 4 Dominicans. I think that was the statement that was made, whereby that they had 3 to 4 Dominicans who were in custody to be sent back home, and they were facilitating the documentation. Mm-hmm. The question is, after 11 months, this government cannot facilitate the documentation to bring down 3 Dominicans. So how are they going to facilitate the documentation to bring down all those deportees from the United States that we don't know? Your own people, has there been any update on that? The Prime Minister also continued that they have been advised by the U.S. government that there are about 104 Dominicans that have been identified who would be served eviction notices, and he would update that as soon as possible. So what happened to those 104 Dominicans who were supposed to be deported? If you cannot facilitate as a country, that question has to be asked, And he was also, one of the things that was stated is that in that thing, the Prime Minister was also saying that they are looking to fill in the position of a general counsel in New York as a priority to work with the State Department, ensuring that those Dominicans and Dominicans to be deported were deported. What is the status of that? What is the status of that? And not only that, Matt, another concerning statement. The Prime Minister went on to say that given the importance of bilateral relations between USA and the Commonwealth of Dominica, as Prime Minister and head of government, believe it is important to find key points of agreement between our countries. Where is Cabinet? Where is the Ministry of External Affairs? Where's the Minister of Foreign Affairs? As Prime Minister and head of government. So was that a unilateral decision on his part? In that statement yesterday, I will repeat. He says, given the importance of the bilateral relations between USA and the Commonwealth of Dominica, these are 2 countries, not 2 heads of state. I quote, I, as PM and head of government, believe it is important to find key points of agreement between the 2 countries. Matt, what kind of foreign relations blunder is that? What kind of foreign relations fiasco is that? So the Prime Minister can just go to the United States and enter into bilateral relations. He's not the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He's not Cabinet. Nothing has been brought to the Parliament of Dominica for ratification. So he alone has done that? No. Another statement in the statement, he says, this engagement is based on our reciprocity to safeguard the well-being of our people, particularly as it occurs. That is the catch. That is the catch. This access to lawful travel for education, employment, family connections, while we try to enhance cooperation between the government of Dominica and the government of USA. So, Matt, what kind of trade-off is that? What kind of negotiations happen behind the scenes to come to the determination that the Prime Minister can enter into an agreement in the United States to send deportees to Dominica? Because at the heart of the statement and how you decipher it, that is what is said. Mm-hmm. That because the beginning of the statement, it says so, and I quote again, in light of the December 16th proclamation,
And at the end of the statement, it is saying again that this engagement is based on our reciprocity to safeguard the well-being of our people, particularly their access to lawful things. So there's a connection. There's a connection to the ban on Dominicans being able to access visa and access the United States properly with what is happening today. Is that the best trade-off we could have gotten for that? Nowhere are we hearing anything about that. They're going to reconsider the issue of the fact that because passports and CBI passports and see were given to questionable people, there is going to be some remediation, review, some kind of thing of that agreement to ensure that it does not happen in the future and Dominicans do not face, because even after you deport all those people to America, we are still facing possible ban from the EU. We still cannot go to the Holland, and Dominicans who to go up and Martinique are still facing the possibility of being denied the Schengen visa to access these very close countries. So that doesn't ameliorate the situation. And so for us to just be gullible, to just think, well, okay, and that can happen. And the Prime Minister ended by saying, I believe this will further deepen our long-standing relationship, signaling clearly that Dominica remains a willing and reliable partner of the USA in the region. So is a shift in his allegiance from China and Venezuela to the United States, that Dominica remains a willing and reliable partner of the United States in our region. Isn't that too little too late? All the time we were hearing that it is China, it is Venezuela, it is Cuba, it is Morocco, it is Tajikistan. These were the countries that were being touted and promoted. If not CBI, what? Petrocari. That was their sim song. China hospital, China airport, China school, China this, China that. What has been the history, right, of the reliable and willing partnership between Dominica in the region with the United States over the past 23 years? Dominicans have to ask themselves the questions, Matt. I think, quite frankly, really and truly, we have come to the stage of really a watered-down government in Dominica. And listening to the tone of the Prime Minister yesterday, I am of the strongest opinion that his back is against the wall. And so Dominicans now are being thrown that, dog bone with no meat on it for them to bite on. Because you know something, Matt? From a Christian perspective, I began from that. People are not cargo to be rejected, packaged, and shipped to countries all over the world where they don't belong. Right? This was, in essence, was the principle and the philosophy of slavery, of indentured labor, when people from strange and foreign lands were uprooted from where they are and sent to countries where they do not know, and that kind of thing. Now, when they come to Dominica, who's going to be responsible to them? What is the financial package that the United States is going to give to house them, to feed them, to provide employment and transportation and food and shelter and all of that? Is that going to be at the expense of the taxpayers of Dominica? Or is it going to be some form of trade-off where, again, we'll be receiving money from the United States for that kind of what you call criminal, in my opinion, inhumane, in my opinion, slave mentality principle of the United States, who wants to re-establish its hegemony, because Donald Trump said that. He spoke about the Monroe Doctrine. Now, when Dominicans go back in history and think of the Monroe Doctrine and the impact it had on the Western Hemisphere and the rest of the world, we have to be very careful. And so we have, what kind of agreement is there? I am not saying that we cannot open our doors to people in need, people in want, people who have been rejected, people who in their homelands, but we have never done it before. If anything, we have been very much averse to foreigners coming in Dominica. We chant them down. We say the worst things about them. Look at all the things we say about the Haitians, our own black brothers and sisters from the very neighboring country who are desperately in need. For you to tell me we possibly going to have people from the Middle East and people from Latin America and people just coming to Dominica and being deported to them because the United States says they don't want them, and we're saying that is the best kind of collaboration we could enter in the United States, the richest country in the world. Where is the hotel that Mr. Henderson and Mr. Skerritt promised us in 2009 that Donald Trump was going to build in Portsmouth? Remember that statement? Where is it? So if you have that connection with the man, make sure if all the money he has gotten, his wealth has increased from 2 billion to 6 billion since he became president of America. The bilateral relationship we should have is we should have them building our roads and our bridges and our schools and our clinic and fixing our colleges. And not only that, we should enter an agreement to make sure that 100 of Dominicans, 200 Dominicans receive scholarships every year to go to the United States. That our musicians and our artists and all our entrepreneurs would receive markets and the opportunity for them to perform in the United States, for them to sell their produce. And that we'd enter into an agreement with Walmart and Publix and all those big countries there so that the small entrepreneurs in Dominica could have a market whereby they can manufacture expansion of their products and sell it to the United States on the shelves. That's the kind of collaboration we need with the United States of America. Okay? And you could enter into a facilitation whereby maybe you could even have an embassy in Dominica. Let me see them do that. So Dominicans have to pay $1,000, $2,000 to go and get a stamp on a visa in Barbados. That's the kind of collaboration we need to have. And so we cannot have a government that is not acting on behalf of the people who are continuously doing things in its own interest at the whims and fancies of the head of government, while the people of Dominica are made to bear the brunt of the mistakes of the government.
Simeon Joseph, thank you, thank you, thank you. That will be our opening salve on the Talk on the Block this afternoon, Dominica. Stay tuned, stay tuned. I'm going to leave you with this one, and we'll continue in the afternoon. Take care. Take care. Take care.
Power rules the world today. Power corrupts, they say. And absolute power corrupts you. Absolutely. It can change a man who has a heart of gold, make him cruel, wicked, self-centered and cold. Many men in this land, many organizations fought for freedom and justice throughout the land. When they have power and authority, they don't give a damn about nobody. Prostituting the island, swan and sun dry, they peddling my people's right. Exploiting no question, less freedom or suffering. I wonder how we survive. Think it over, my friend. Think it over again. Think it over, don't vex with me. Shut it, think it over. I'm singing as I sing. Oh, we can't live to buy. Word that the price too high. Malnutrition killing the children while we the adults starving. Yet the price is rising without control. Young man begging bread by the side of the road. And chamber of commerce in this land, I tell you, they don't give one down. The more we try to economize, the more cost of living rise. When they have power and authority, they don't give a damn about nobody. They prostitute in the island, milking the land dry. They're making my people starve, exploiting, oppressing, less freedom or suffering. This thing just can't go on. Take it over, my friend. Take it over, carefully again. Take it over, don't mess with me. Shut it, take it over. I'm singing as I sing. Work we can't live to find. Life seems a waste of time. Nothing to do but sit around the corner line.